welcome back to my channel. My name is Roro for those of you who are new here, and this is Beautybylero. Lero is basically everything beauty, makeup, hair, and you get all that on this channel. So today we are gonna do a reverse cut crease look. We're gonna go for it. I've never tried it, so it's gonna be a journey together. And I figured while I do this, we can do a get to know me. Get to know Lero/Roro while we get ready. So let's get started. Okay, I got my headband on to protect my hair and edges. I'm gonna start with the Fenty Skin Fat Water to prep my skin. As you guys know, skin prep is crucial to a flawless makeup application. And then I'm gonna use my Fountain of Truth moisturizer just to moisturize my face. So as I was saying in the beginning, my name is Roro. It's actually Rolanda. I was named after my dad, Roland. But every time I meet people and they ask me my name and I'm like, yeah, my name is Rolanda. Literally, the next time they see me, they call me Roro. It's like universal. Roro or Ro. So I just say Roro now. I just be like Roro. But what's funny is my family doesn't call me Roro. They call me, they'll call me Ro, or I have this nickname. It's called Daddy. I don't know how they came up with that. So if you've seen some of my videos before, you know that this is a step I like to do just to have my foundation last longer. So what I do is I go with the Mercier setting powder. After I put on the moisturizer, I just go over my whole face with it. So I'm going to color correct with the LA Girl color corrector in the color orange. I am from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. My parents are Haitian, so I'm West Indian, New York. Okay, it's a difference. And I moved to LA to pursue a career in dancing and makeup. I actually went to college to be a doctor because as a West Indian, if you know, there's only 3 options: doctor, lawyer, or teacher. And so I went to college to be a doctor, and I was failing all of the classes that I needed for that: biology, chemistry, all of them. And when I was doing my clinicals, they were changing a bypass on a patient. I passed out. And that was when I realized that this is not me. I'm forcing it. But dance, however, I've always loved to do. It was always my passion. I used to force my younger brothers to learn routines that I made up, or like I'll learn Michael Jackson's entire routine and force them to do it. They hated it, but it made them better. It made them better men now. So when I changed my career in college, I decided to change it to dance and psychology. And that's when I realized I didn't even think before that you can have a career in dance. I never even thought of that. And that's when I realized, like, yo, this is actually a career. And that's when I started to pursue it completely. So I was working at a doctor's office. Once I graduated college, I quit the doctor's office and went full-time into dance. Started training at BDC, Broadway Dance Center, this studio in New York. Was fully into it, like fully submerged. So I'm just blending out wherever I corrected, I'm just blending it out. And I go back all over that with the Mercier again, just to bring it together. I love this Mercier because that's what it does. It like lightly brings in everything together, so there's no harsh lines or craziness, you know? So today for the foundation, I'm gonna use the Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation, and this is in the color 360 Mocha. So my makeup story is actually a little interesting. I actually used to hate wearing makeup. And that was because, back in the days, they didn't know how to do makeup for darker skin. So every time I did get my makeup done, I hated it. I looked gray, I looked ashy and ugly, and just it, and I would get it done with my sister, and my sister's light skin, and my sister would always come out looking better. Like, it's like they know how to do light skin, they just didn't know how to do dark skin. So I hated makeup. I was like, I don't wear makeup. I don't care. I'm not wearing it. And when I started dancing, I had this mentor, Aisha Francis. If you don't know her, look her up. And at the time, she came to New York and was teaching these hill classes that none of us knew about. Like everyone, all the girls in New York were just like dancing hip hop. Like we weren't dancing in heels at all. And you know, she sat and talked with everyone and told them like about LA and how it is in the industry. And the thing that she told me was that, you know, you gotta know how to do your own makeup and you gotta know how to do your own hair, you know, because you go to these auditions, you gotta come in beat down, ready to slay, hair ready, everything ready. And literally I just had like my natural hair out. I would get braids and I didn't know how to do makeup. And I was just like, oh my God. So I started, I had a friend named Princess who loved makeup and I asked her to show me some things. So she showed me, you know, the basics. I would go to her house and she would teach me things. And as I was learning them, I was starting to like really fall in love with it. I was like, oh my God, this looks so good. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to really beat my face, because why depend on other people who clearly weren't like taking the time to learn, you know, my skin when I could just learn my skin myself. So I dedicated myself to learning how to do makeup, learning how to make wigs, learning how to do my hair. You know, I went natural for the first time, so that was also a journey of learning that. So I really was like, I call it the University of You. I was on YouTube watching everything, like everything, practicing on my hair, on my friend's hair, on my face, on my friend's face. And I did that for a few years, and then I started realizing like, oh, you know, maybe I should start doing this, you know? So I started like doing people's faces for free, you know, just to get used to doing people's faces. And they really loved it. And then I was like, okay, let's start charging. And that is how I got into makeup. And I've never looked back. And I love it. So I basically am a dancer that does makeup and makes wigs. It's a colorful story. It honestly is. Okay, so now that I have my foundation on, I'm going to do my brows. I normally do my brows first. I'm actually experimenting with this, doing your brows after. I use the Anastasia dip brow, as y'all know, the color Ebony. So you just do the line on the bottom, line on the top. Connect it. Then draw fake lines upward and just fill it all in. You know, I wasn't blessed by the brow goddess, so it's a lot of filling for me. Once I get the eyebrow to the shape that I mostly want it to be, I'll start to clean it. This is the Revlon Candid Concealers. And just, you know, make sure the arch is to my liking. Although I never liked makeup when I was younger, the one thing I did always do is my eyebrows, because like I said, I had none. So it was definitely thinner back then. I used to fill it in way thinner than this. The times have changed. The thing I like about makeup is that like, it just allows you to play with your features. I know, you know, it's just like, it allows you to enhance, dehance. You know, it allows you to have fun with your face that you know so well. And I think that that's a great thing. And then I'm just gonna go in with my MAC blending brush and just blend all that out. Now we're gonna highlight. This is the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the color Toffee. So yeah, so that's how I got into makeup. And my first official client was Selena Watkins. Selena, she was my first client, and it was the most amazing experience. So how I ended up coming to LA is, like I said, I also dance, and I came to LA to visit in 2017. I visited with Aisha Francis, the person who now is like my friend. She's the best. And so when I came to visit, she actually got me on a job. That was my first job I booked in LA, and I literally booked it like visiting. It was crazy. I had an agency in New York, MSA agency, and they had one in LA. And because I booked the job in LA, they signed me to the agency in LA as well. This is a concealer brush, by the way, brush number 52. And so they signed me, I did the job, I was there for 2 weeks, and then I went back home. But because they signed me, they had me on their roster. They would submit me on auditions out there. So the BET Awards was coming around, and they were looking for dancers for that. And the job that I had booked when I came the first time, one of the dancers on it, her name is Brittany Perry Russell, she was assistant. And so she saw my headshot and she recommended me. So they emailed me and they're like, oh yeah, we're submitting you for this. Would you be interested? I'm like, yeah, sure. Not even thinking like that anything would come of it, you know, because I'm like, yeah, I'm in New York, whatever. Literally, it was like Monday night at 1 a.m. and they emailed me like, you booked the BET Awards and you need to be in rehearsal tomorrow at 12. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Is the rehearsals in New York, you know? Because I didn't know. Like, that was like my first like time like experiencing something like that. And they're like, no, it's in LA. Are you okay with that? It's like, ah! I had to literally fly out to LA like at like 6 a.m. straight from the airport to rehearsals. It was amazing. It was amazing. And so I did that job and had the most amazing experience. That was with Janelle Monáe, with Jamel. Shout out to Jamel. And I decided that I wanted to stay. I was like, I want to stay. Like, the weather was just amazing. You know, Aisha showed me so many things. I fell in love. I was meeting so many people. I was like, it just makes sense. Like, I need to just stay. So my husband, who you guys all know, Michael Catafano, say hey, babe. Hey. I called him and I was like, I think I'm going to stay. And he later told me that he already knew that that was going to happen anyways. So yeah, I stayed. This is the LA Girl again. This is just in cool tan. I like to go in with the lighter color closer to the inner ducts. Just put just enough to get this section. I'll add a little bit more on my nose just to strengthen that bridge. Yeah, just like that. It just adds a nice like brightness to it, I feel. So he knew that I was gonna stay and he came out a month later, and now 2 years we're here. Crazy, right? I do miss New York, of course. All my family is in New York. I come from a big family. I have 3 brothers, a sister, and a half sister. And my brother has 2 nephews. My sister has a nephew. Our house was like the popular house on the block, so everyone came over. So, you know, I do miss being around my family, but I also do like it out here, and I love the new experiences that I am getting out here. It's gonna blend it in. And so now out here I do makeup and dance full time. Isn't that crazy? From trying to be a doctor, working at a doctor's office, hating every moment of it, to full-time dancing and makeup. It's pretty cool. All right, now we're gonna contour. This is the Ben Nye Cream Shadow in Extra Dark. Just get the sides, right here, right here. I like to get the side of my chin, up around the forehead, not too much. And with any residual, I'll just put here on the side of my nose because I don't like it when it's too harsh of, you know, a line there. Take my Sephora blending brush and just bend that upward and downward. So you want to blend it like up into here and also towards your jawline. Not toward your jawline, towards your mouth. Just blend it all out. And I'm just gonna go in with the Beauty Blender and press it. Also, another thing is I am married. I am married now 4 years, basically. My husband, Michael Catapano, half Italian and Chinese. And he was also a dancer. Now he's a photographer. And we've been together 8 years. We met at dance, like at a dance studio through a mutual friend, Jordan. And yeah, we've been riding since. It was definitely interesting, our relationship, getting to know each other in the beginning. Me being Haitian, West Indian, and him being half Italian, half Chinese. It was a lot of learning curves. We learned a lot about each other's culture. I'll say that. But it was great. Definitely helped, I feel, grew up. It helped us to grow as people. And we are so in love. So I'm gonna set all that with the Sascha Buttercup setting powder. I got my Laura Mercier puff. I'm basically going over wherever I concealed. I know it looks a little messy right now. I'm gonna clean it up. And then I put the residual on the forehead. This looks crazy. Kind of went a little crazy. So I just clean the side like that. Get rid of the side right there. I'm gonna just press this part in a little. So I don't bake, as y'all know. I have normal to dry skin, so baking just ends up making me look really cracked. So what I do is I just press it in with the puff for the most part. And then I'm gonna go with the brush and press in the rest. Now, if you have, like, you know, oily skin, of course, you can bake away. But my skin doesn't really get oily. I mean, I do sweat, but it doesn't really get oily like that. So I don't really bake like that, you know what I'm saying? So I go in with my face brush and just press everything in. Press in. First I press it in. Then once I press it to my liking, then I'll just like kind of like circular brush everything so that nothing looks crazy. Then I'm gonna take that, listen, I live by this Laura Mercier powder, okay? I'm gonna take it and put some on and kind of just go over everything with it to bring my entire face together. So that it's not like harsh, you know? That's what makeup is about. It's about like the blending. I was gonna say the blendation. All right, so I said I'm gonna do a reverse cut crease. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just put a base over my eye. I wanna do like a purple color, so I'm gonna use a base that's bright, but I want the part that's like on my lid to just be a neutral color. So I'm gonna have to go over that with like another thing. So I'm gonna use a concealer that's just, it's light ivory, so it's like really bright. I'm gonna just put some on my lid, like all over. Yeah, I'm gonna make it go all the way to my brow. Normally I don't bring it all the way up to my brow, but because I'm doing a reverse cut crease, the focus is gonna be on the color on the top versus the color on the lid. So I'm just making sure I cover everything. So purple was my favorite color growing up. I feel like purple's a lot of dark skinned girls' favorite colors. But I actually never liked wearing purple. Like, I loved it. Like, my head tie would be purple, or my book bag, or my pen, but I never liked wearing it. So, you know, as I grew up, I'm like, damn, I don't really be rocking purple like that. That was my color. So I was like, let me rep for my color. So this is actually an old palette. It's the Urban Decay Electric palette. What I'm gonna do is use this dark purple color. I don't know if you can see it. It's right here. I'm gonna use this to just start the crease line because I don't know. I wanna make sure that I don't mess that up. So I'm gonna just start a little line with a thin brush. Put a little too much at first, but that's okay. And I think I'm gonna have the crease go up into like, yeah, maybe like go up into a wing. The thing about cut crease that is hard is you just gotta make sure it's a good shape. I think that's a good shape. Let's do the other side, just so I have it. similar. That's how thin I was supposed to make it. All right, I'm gonna go in there with the Tarte Pro. And I'm gonna just use this. I just want it a little darker. There you go. That's what we talking about now. Yes. So some of the jobs that I've done with makeup, which has been so cool, I've got to do some for some magazines, like Dance Magazine. That was pretty dope because that was my first like published job. And I was geeking. I got to do makeup for like a talk show. It was a talk show centered around topics in the Black community, so that was also pretty cool. I got to do Aisha's makeup, which was great. That was like full circle, you know, from her telling me, you know, that I have to learn about this to like doing her makeup. Okay, so now that I have the shape and the color, I'm gonna go in with a light blending brush. This is from Color du Jour, and I'm gonna just blend those edges upward so it doesn't look so harsh. So now what I want is I want the purple to be the darkest, and then it like, you know, fades up and out. So keeping with that same blending brush, I'm gonna go in with the Jackie Aina palette and use that to start blending it upwards. So I've been in LA 2 years. I do makeup and the hair. And now I am trying to, well, not trying, now I'm getting into acting. I started taking some acting classes. I just really want to like, you know, explore everything. And I've always been just a goofy person, and everyone's always just been like, Rolanda, you need to act. So I was like, well, let me learn the correct way to do it, you know? So I've been taking these classes with Susan Giosa, who is amazing. So I'm just blending it upwards. Just making sure that everything's well blended, because nothing messes up your makeup look worse than the lack of blending. I'm gonna go in with a thinner angle brush and just use that to deepen this part so it's just sharper. So dance wise, I also have gotten to work with some amazing jobs. Like I said, the Janelle Monáe was so cool. Got to, you know, dance on stage with Rihanna, Little Kim, and Remy Ma. That was probably like one of the highlights because, you know, I am from New York. That is what I grew up on, you know. Dancing on the show for the Tupac movie, that was pretty cool. I got to do Coachella, which was an amazing experience. You know, it's honestly, the best part is like when you, all the hard work you put in, and then when you see yourself like actually living it out, and you're like, wow, like here I am, it's like actually happening. I'm gonna go back in with that concealer just to fix the line under, make sure it's even. That's the thing with a cut crease. Listen, if you are deciding to do a cut crease look, don't do it if you know you're on a time constraint to leave somewhere, because baby, this does take a little more dedication than your other beats. So originally I was gonna put foundation over this part because I just wanted it to look like there's no color here, but I kind of like how this looks because I like that it gives a little brightness, you know, so that it's a separation from my actual skin complexion. So I think I'm just going to set this with some setting powder. So I'm gonna just use the Laura Mercier setting powder and just press it in. You want to set it because you don't want it to be like creasy and liquidy. You want it to still look like an eyeshadow base. I can't tell if I made the cut crease smaller because all the colors on the top. Because when I do my cut creases, I don't normally make them big, but I'm like, is this too small? I can't tell. So you guys know my liner that I use, the AMC Gel Liner. It's just the best. So let's see how we're gonna do the liner. Should I make it go all the way up to there? I don't know, let's see. Maybe have it follow this trail. Look at that. And that'll be it. Normally when I do the cut crease, I'll use the liner to end off the cut crease. But this is like a wing situation, so I don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe like that. How's that looking? And let's have it go down. Yeah, let's have this be a liner that like grows. You know what I mean? So this part will just be under here. Literally a dash. Woo, that was hard. Oh yeah, that's it. That's the liner look. So let me just clean this up. I can't talk while I'm doing this, guys. I completely even forgot that I was filming. All right, now we're gonna put some mascara on. This is a Clinique mascara. So yeah, so with the whole college thing, sometimes part of me feels like I regretted going to college, because I feel like I should have just started with dance a long time ago if I only knew. But I feel like I had to go to college to know that, I guess, right? And also, I did learn a lot about myself in college, and I learned a lot about other people. So I guess it's all part of the journey, as they love to say. But it's always been like something that was like kind of like an insecurity, not an insecurity, yeah, an insecurity. Like I would be like, oh, I started dancing later. I wish I started earlier. You know, in the beginning, like when I was struggling with some things in dance, I always would blame it on that. Like, oh, it's because I started late. But really, if you know anything about the dance industry, even, you know, fashion, acting, even makeup, that entire industry, it's like, it's not based off of the values of like normal thing. You know, like a doctor, you go to school, you study, you become a doctor. But here you can become a dancer with no experience, and you can study for years and never make it. So it's definitely a journey. Okay, so I'm using my Lilly lashes, and this is in the color. It's in the style Doha, D-O-H-A, Doha. I like these lashes because they're the perfect lashes if you have like a wing liner situation that you want to show off, because the lashes go from short to long. Sometimes like if a lash is big and you do like a wing liner that you want to like really show off, it's hard to see because the lash is like just covering it. So whenever like I want to show off something, I use these type of lashes. Or if like I want to exaggerate that winged look, you know. Lashes were another thing that I also did not like to wear. I think that was just, you know, back then makeup, you know, what was available to us in the hood, you know, it was the hood lashes, and those were not it. I used to feel like wings were on my lid. Now, I'll be like, bigger, give it to me. So I use a tweezer, as you know. I can't use my hand. I mean, I could, but I just feel crazy using my hand, so yeah, tweezers it is. And this tweezer is actually cool. It's by Tweezer Man, so it has this nice little loop. Okay, so then I'm gonna do the bottom part. I'm gonna do the inner liner black. This is my Yves Saint Laurent black Just get the entire waterline. And I kind of want the bottom to be like the top, but just like a little lighter. So I'm gonna put purple, but I'm gonna start a little lighter and then go with the lighter purple. So I'm gonna use my shader brush. This is from E Sigma, and this is number 30. And so that the purple that I put up here, I'm gonna start with that, which was the Jackie Aina. And I'm gonna just brush all under the bottom with that, so that it's purple, but it's not as dark as what I use in the inner. Then I'm gonna go with like a lighter color that's like still in the purple family, but just lighter. So it's still in the Jackie Aina. I'm gonna use this color. It's called Pinkier. And I'm gonna just blend out the bottom with that color. So you see it, kinda, you know what I mean? I was gonna do purple lashes on the bottom too, but I'm doing a purple lip. That's gonna be too much, right? Yeah. We're just gonna keep it black on the bottom. So I'm gonna just go back with the Clinique mascara and get the bottom lash. Okay, now I'm just going to finish my face. So I'm going to bronze. This is the Makeup Revolution Glow Bronzers that I just kind of got on, that I actually really love. This is in the color medium. It's very, look at that. Oh. Like, it is so pigmented. The pigment on this is like insane. Like, are y'all seeing that? Wow. And guess how much it was? $12. $12, baby. And it's so big. Look at the size of it. This is the size of my hand. It's big, it's super pigmented, and it's cheap. Like, where did they do that at? Oh, I love it so much. Wow. So because I'm doing this purple look, I kind of want to like have that all over. So normally with highlighters, you know, I always do gold and stuff. So I have this highlighter that's like a prism highlighter, but I don't like to use it just by itself because I feel like it's too much. So I'm gonna go in with a rose gold highlighter first, just to like give me some color that's nice for my skin complexion. I'm gonna top it off with the prism highlighter though, you know. This is by Becca. Becca Cosmetics. You know, they was running the game with the highlighters. I'm gonna get some on my nose and the tip, some here. And I just want like a little highlight there. I don't want it to like look like too much like a pop, but I do want it brightened. So I just use like whatever residual and kind of just put it in there. So now I'm gonna just go over that with this is the Maybelline Master Holographic Highlighter, and it's like a, you know, reflective purpley type of color. I'm gonna just use that to top right here. So, see, just to give it a nice like prism look. She's ready. She's ready. So for the blush, I'm gonna use this is wow, what's their name? Juvias. This is Juvia's palette Sahara blush volume. Then I'm gonna use like this color. This is a little too bright maybe for this. And I'm gonna just pop that on the cheek. You know, this palette is also very pigmented, almost a little bit too much, and I have to like rub it off on my hands and then put it. It's very pigmented, see? So as I said, I'm going full purple with the lipstick. I haven't done this in a while, but we'll see. So this is my MAC lip liner in the color Plum. I'm gonna use that to line my lip. Normally when I have a cut crease, I like to keep my lips neutral. But we're experimenting today, you know? Let's experiment. I'm just gonna push that into my lid so that it's not a harsh line. About that. So this is by Zombie Cosmetics. They're really good because they have really bright colored lipsticks. And I used to wear these all the time. They're super matte. They can be drying, I'm not gonna lie. They can be. Like, it's not one of those lipsticks that you wear and reapply. Your lips will hate you. But look at it, it's really bright. And then what I'm gonna do is go over with this liner again. Get this corner. So I don't want it to be like super bright purple also. So I'm just gonna use like a pink color to dilute it a little. Get that in the middle. I'm just adding more color. And then lastly, I spray it with my Kryolan Fix and Spray. This is just a setting spray that will have it lasting longer. If you really don't care for your makeup to last too long, you don't need this. This is for when I'm like dancing or, you know, photo shoot, which I'm about to do. So close your eyes. All right, and this is the finished look. Reverse cut crease, purple vibes all day, every day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me. Let me know in the comments if there's any other questions about me you have, and let me know if this is it. Is reverse cut crease a vibe or not? Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Tell your girls to subscribe, tell your moms, tell your friends, tell everybody. And thank you for coming. See you guys next time.